learn one Stoic skill, your life will change forever. Most people are not stressed because of problems. They are stressed because of opinions. The looks, the whispers, the criticism, the expectations. Today, you will discover the silent power that makes you untouchable, the power of ignoring people. In a world addicted to validation, choosing silence is a superpower. Stoicism teaches that your peace is more valuable than applause. When you react to every comment, you give strangers control over your emotions. But when you ignore what does not serve your growth, you take your power back. This is not weakness. This is discipline. The ancient Stoics like Marcus Aurelius reminded themselves daily that other people's opinions are outside their control. You cannot control what someone thinks about you. You cannot control gossip. You cannot control misunderstanding. But you can control your response. And sometimes, the strongest response is no response at all. Ignoring people does not mean you lack confidence. It means your confidence is internal. When someone insults you and you remain calm, you send a powerful message: your words do not define me. That level of emotional control builds quiet respect. The loudest person in the room is rarely the strongest. The calmest one usually is. Most arguments are invitations. And you do not have to accept every invitation. When someone tries to provoke you, they are often seeking attention or validation. If you react, you reward the behavior. If you ignore it, you starve it over time. People stop testing boundaries when they realize they cannot disturb your peace. Self-love begins with boundaries. Ignoring toxic energy is a boundary. Not every message deserves a reply. Not every opinion deserves consideration. Protecting your peace is not selfish, it is necessary. Your mental energy is limited. Spend it building your future, not defending your ego. Epictetus taught that people are disturbed not by events, but by their judgments about events. When someone criticizes you, it is just sound until you assign meaning to it. You decide whether it becomes pain or fuel. That decision is your freedom. There will always be people who misunderstand your growth. When you improve, insecure people feel uncomfortable. When you set boundaries, entitled people feel offended. When you focus on your goals, distracted people feel judged. Let them. Your responsibility is not to manage everyone's emotions. Your responsibility is to stay aligned with your values. Ignoring people also means ignoring comparison. Social media creates constant pressure to measure your life against others. Stoicism teaches that comparison is a thief of peace. Someone will always be ahead in something. But no one can live your path better than you. Focus inward. Improve daily. That is enough. Silence builds mystery. Mystery builds respect. When you overshare, overexplain, and overreact, you reduce your power. When you move quietly, people become curious. They wonder what you are building. They sense strength. Controlled silence speaks louder than impulsive words. Seneca warned about wasting time on trivial matters. Drama is trivial. Gossip is trivial. Petty arguments are trivial. Time is your most valuable resource. Every minute spent reacting is a minute stolen from your purpose. Choose wisely. Ignoring negativity does not mean ignoring responsibility. If you make a mistake, own it. If criticism is constructive, learn from it. Stoicism is not about ego, it is about growth. But when criticism is destructive, rooted in jealousy or ignorance, let it pass like wind. The power of ignoring people is the power of focus. When you stop chasing approval, you gain clarity. You work harder. You think deeper. You move smarter. Your energy shifts from proving yourself to improving yourself. And improvement will always silence critics more effectively than arguments. Imagine waking up every morning unbothered. No urge to check who liked your post. No anxiety about who is talking about you. No need to defend your choices. Just calm focus. That is emotional freedom. That is Stoic strength. When you ignore distractions, you become dangerous in the best way. Dangerous to mediocrity. Dangerous to excuses. Dangerous to fear. Because your mind is no longer scattered. It is disciplined. And disciplined minds build extraordinary lives. If this message speaks to you, if you are ready to protect your peace and master your emotions, then this channel is for you. We are building a community of strong minds who refuse to be controlled by noise. We live in a world where everyone has access to your life. Social media, group chats, workplaces, even family circles. Opinions travel fast. Judgment travels faster. And if you are not mentally disciplined, your peace disappears before your day even begins. Stoicism teaches something radical. You are not required to react. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, faced wars, betrayal, and constant criticism. Yet he reminded himself daily that other people's opinions are external. They belong to them, not to you. When you truly understand this, something inside you shifts. You stop performing for approval. You start living for principle. Ignoring people does not mean you become cold or arrogant. It means you become selective. You choose which voices deserve space in your mind. Not every comment deserves your energy. Not every insult deserves your attention. Silence is not surrender. Silence is strategy. The more you react, the more accessible you become. The more accessible you become, the more controllable you become. When people know they can trigger you, they will. But when they see that nothing shakes you, they lose interest. Emotional control creates invisible armor. Think about how many arguments begin because someone refuses to ignore something small. A comment, a tone, a look. The ego jumps in and demands a response. But Stoicism teaches that ego is often the enemy of peace. Strength is not proving yourself. Strength is not needing to. Epictetus said that it is not events that disturb us, but our interpretation of them. Someone calls you a name. Those are just sounds. You decide whether they become a wound. That decision is power. And the more you practice ignoring meaningless negativity, the stronger you become. There is freedom in not caring about what does not matter. Many people carry invisible burdens created by strangers' opinions. They replay conversations. They imagine criticisms. They defend themselves in their minds. All of this drains energy. Ignoring people cuts that drain instantly. When you stop seeking validation, you become dangerous in a good way. Dangerous to mediocrity. Dangerous to distraction. Dangerous to manipulation. Because manipulation only works when someone needs approval. When you do not need it, you cannot be controlled. Ignoring people also builds mystery. When you do not explain every decision, people speculate. When you do not respond to every accusation, people wonder. Silence creates strength. Oversharing creates vulnerability. Not everything deserves clarification. But let us be clear. Stoicism does not teach ignorance of wisdom. If criticism is constructive, listen. If someone offers guidance rooted in care, consider it. Ignoring people is not about closing your ears. It is about filtering noise from value. Seneca warned that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Many times, the criticism we fear never even comes. We build it in our minds. We argue with imaginary opponents. We exhaust ourselves over nothing. Ignoring imagined judgment is the first step to mental peace. There will always be people who misunderstand your growth. When you evolve, some will feel left behind. When you set boundaries, some will feel rejected. When you focus on discipline, some will call you distant. Let them. Growth often looks like arrogance to those who refuse to grow. Ignoring people means protecting your focus. Focus is currency. The more scattered your attention, the weaker your results. Successful individuals understand that attention is limited. They guard it fiercely. Every distraction ignored becomes fuel for achievement. Imagine waking up and not checking who liked your post. Imagine not caring who views your stories. Imagine not replaying negative comments before sleep. That is freedom. That is emotional independence. Most drama survives on participation. Remove participation, and drama dies. If someone tries to provoke you and you refuse to engage, they lose power instantly. Provocation without reaction collapses. The power of ignoring people also strengthens relationships. When you stop reacting impulsively, you avoid unnecessary conflict. Calmness creates clarity. You begin responding instead of reacting. You choose peace over pride. Your value does not increase because someone praises you. It does not decrease because someone criticizes you. Value is internal. When you understand this deeply, you walk differently. You speak differently. You move differently. There is something intimidating about a person who cannot be emotionally manipulated. Not aggressive, not loud, just steady, just calm, just grounded. That steadiness comes from mastering the art of selective attention. Ignoring people is not about isolation. It is about alignment, aligning your mind with your purpose instead of aligning it with public opinion. The crowd is often confused. The disciplined mind is clear. You will notice something powerful when you begin practicing this. Your stress decreases. Your productivity increases. Your sleep improves. Your self-respect grows. Because you are no longer living in reaction mode. Many people waste years trying to clear their name in rooms they do not belong in. Stoicism asks a simple question. Why are you trying to convince those committed to misunderstanding you? Sometimes silence is the most dignified answer. The more you value your time, the less you argue. The more you value your energy, the less you explain. The more you value your peace, the less you entertain nonsense. There is power in walking away. Not every battle deserves a warrior. Some battles are designed to distract you from your mission. When you ignore them, you win by default. You cannot be both focused and reactive at the same time. Choose one. The world rewards concentration, not emotional chaos. If you are building something meaningful, expect noise. If you are improving yourself, expect criticism. If you are disciplined, expect misunderstanding. But remember this: progress always makes insecure people uncomfortable. Ignoring people trains emotional endurance. Each time you refuse to respond impulsively, you strengthen self-control. Self-control builds confidence. Confidence builds independence. You begin to realize something profound. Most people are too busy worrying about themselves to truly analyze you. The spotlight you fear is often imaginary. And even if people talk, so what? Words cannot damage character unless you let them shape your behavior. Your mission is bigger than gossip. Your growth is bigger than opinions. Your peace is bigger than temporary noise. Imagine the next version of you. Calm, focused, unbothered, disciplined. That version does not react to every opinion. That version filters ruthlessly. That version protects mental space like treasure. This is your reminder. You are not obligated to respond. You are not obligated to defend. You are not obligated to explain your growth. Ignore what weakens you. Focus on what strengthens you. If this message resonates with you, if you are ready to become mentally unshakable and protect your peace at all costs, then this channel is built for you. Subscribe now and turn on notifications to receive more powerful lessons on Stoicism, discipline, and emotional mastery. Join this growing community of individuals committed to strength, clarity, and self-control. Your peace is priceless. Guard it, strengthen it, live by it.